Okay, the next window that we're going to talk about is the wood windows. Now I'm going to try to make this one a little bit quicker. I kind of over-explained the conversation in the last video there, and I just want to give you kind of a brief conversation. See, every conversation is going to be designed pretty much the same way. It's really not that complicated, and I don't want to overcomplicate it. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of problem with my contact lens here. But I do want to touch on the problems again, go over it, and just do a couple quick pitches using the wood product. So obviously wood windows, the major problem there is rotting. Rotting leads to so many different other issues, whether it be paint peeling, hard to open and close, drafts, anything really. Anything can stem off rotting because rotting deteriorates the window, which can, open up holes in the windows. It can do so many different things. I mean, I don't have to explain that to you. I think that you should understand, what rotting can do. So with that being said, let's jump right into the conversation. Okay, how old are your windows? They're 50 years old. The customer's going to say they're 50 years old. Okay, and all the windows 50 years old? Yeah, they're all 50 years old. Okay, great. I couldn't help but notice walking up, they had the wooden windows here. I mean, beautiful home, by the way. This thing is amazing. What is it, like probably, is the house 50 years old too? Yeah, it is. Wow. So the wood windows here, you obviously do like the original look, I'm sure. They say yes. Okay, well, what kind of issues have you been experiencing with the 50-year-old wooden windows? And they'll probably tell you. I mean, they'll probably say like none, and then they'll probably think about it and say, I've been experiencing a little bit of rotting, but I mean, it's not that much of a problem. Or they might say, I've been experiencing some rotting, but I'm just going to patch them up myself. And that's when you're going to start into it. I noticed walking up that all the windows here were rotting. Is it just the ones on the front or the ones in the back rotting too? I might say the ones in the back too. Okay, well, rotting obviously leads to a lot of other issues, operational issues, especially like hard to open and close and hard to clean. What would you say they're worse with, hard to open and close or hard to clean? They'll probably say, well, hard to clean, they don't tilt in the clean. Okay, and are they hard to open and close too then? Yeah, they are. Okay, and the windows, besides having those two issues there, must be hard to lock securely too. No, they lock fine. Okay. Well, I also noticed walking up that you had obviously a lot of paint peeling on the windows, which can lead to deterioration of the home value, especially with a beautiful house like this. I mean, the windows are going to stand out so much if they're not replaced. Have you noticed that as well? And they'll say yes. Okay. Another issue that I noticed walking up with the windows here, that they had the single pane wooden that they were single pane. I'm sure you noticed that the windows were single pane. They'll probably say yes. Okay. Well, do you know what single pane means? Yeah, well, it's just one piece of glass. Okay, well, obviously the glass isn't what makes the window efficient. That's what I just want to point out to you. What makes the window energy efficient or the glass energy efficient would be the low E material that goes on the glass and the argon gas that goes in between the panes of the double pane windows. So these being single pane, they're letting hot air, cold air right in, and obviously raising the energy bills. Now, have you been experiencing drafts or just cold and hot spots? Just cold and hot spots? Okay. Well, what would you say your average monthly energy bill is? About $250 a month. Well, that's definitely something that we can lower for you. Okay. I'm just going to stop there for a second. So, as you can see, guys, it's very easy to have this conversation. You just have to kind of know what problems can occur with what product and somewhat why they occur. But we know why rotting occurs, okay? And then these other problems occur because of rotting. Now I'm going to stop by going to, have you ever heard of Andersen Windows before? Yes, I have. I go through, and then I get down to the end. Okay, what would you say? What's your phone number? Okay, and yourself. All right, in case you step out, are there any other numbers that we can reach you at? And then they'll say yes. Okay. Well, we did talk about the windows rotting, paint peeling, and whatnot. We talked about the energy bills being a bit high. What other kind of issues have you been experiencing with these older wooden windows? And then they might say none. Okay. Well, a lot of neighbors, I've been talking to a lot of your neighbors, and they've been complaining about the rotting as well. They've also been complaining though about the windows being hard to open. You did talk about them being hard to close. Are they hard to open as well? Okay. And the neighbors also said that the windows, they don't stay open when you can get them open. So you open them and they slam right down. You've been experiencing the same issue? Okay. And then, I might go on. I mean, there's really not many other problems to talk about, so I'll probably go right into, okay, well, you just so you know, it's a totally free service. All that we do require is that you set aside at least 60 minutes, whether we need it or not. Of course, when we come up to discuss so and so. Okay, so let me have that quick conversation again. Okay, how old are your windows? 20 years old. Okay, they all 20 years old? Yes. Okay. And I did notice walking up that you had all these original older wooden windows here. Older wooden windows here, correct? Yes, they're all wooden. Okay. Now, what kind of issues have you been experiencing with the old wooden windows? I don't know. I kind of like them. I mean, it gives the house is an old house, so it gives it the older look. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, this is a beautiful house too, beautiful neighborhood. Is the house the same age as the windows? I'm assuming. Yeah. Okay. Well, I couldn't help but notice, sir, walking up that you were experiencing the rotting with the windows. I mean, I know the windows give the original look, but a lot of times what customers tell us is that we're the only company that can actually duplicate the older wooden look for their home. I don't know if you knew that about us. I know there's a lot of cheap vinyl companies out there and whatnot. We have material called Fabrex, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. Now, a lot of customers that also have the wooden windows have been experiencing the rotting, and they say the windows are hard to open and close. Now, how many of your windows are hard to open and close? Okay, they all are. Okay, and they're hard to lock securely too, I would imagine. Okay. Now, I did notice that the windows must, being that they are 50 years old, they must not be able to tilt and clean, can they? They can't. Okay. All right, great. Now, with the windows being single pane, you know what single pane is, correct? Yeah, just a one piece of glass. With the windows being single pane, they must be a little bit drafty, or they just having cold spots. Oh, they're actually having some big drafts. Okay. Well, the average monthly energy bill must be pretty high then. What would you say the average monthly energy bill is? Okay. Well, we can definitely help all you and your family. Have you ever heard of Andersen Windows before? All right, so you know that we have the best windows you can have for your home then. Okay, great. We provide you with huge energy savings. Our low E glass is up to. Fast forward. Okay, and what would you say your phone number is? I mean, what is your phone number? What would you say your phone number is? What's your phone number? And your cell? Okay, and in case you step out, do you have any other phone numbers that we could reach you at? Okay, great. Now, we did talk about the windows rotting. We talked about them being hard to open and close, and we did talk about a little bit of drafts, but what other kind of problems have you been experiencing with the wooden windows here? None? Okay, well, a lot of your neighbors have been complaining about a lot of issues such as home value loss and whatnot. Have you ever got that assessed or anything like that? Oh, you have. Oh, they did say that you should replace them. Okay. And I also did notice that you had the storm windows on the home here. Okay. Storm windows can become a fire hazard. They get very hard to open and close too, and I'm sure you've been experiencing the same things. All right. Well, just so you know, it's a totally free service. All we do require is that you set aside at least 60 minutes, whether you need it or not. And of course, when you come out to discuss it, we'll stop right there. Okay, so I hope you guys understand the conversation more and understand the wood windows. What I want you guys to do is look through those list of problems that you already have there. It should give you a pretty good idea of what's going on. These windows, I hope, help just to at least get you through that conversation. But that was wooden windows. The next and last video that we'll have is aluminum windows, and that one's going to be a lot shorter. All right, thank you.